Well, everybody wants a bigger office. This is a bigger office, but it's not my full-time office. I had to pick up this truck for Ohio. The idea of a truck and trailer for the summer. So I picked up a truck. I'm going to go back and bring my car back and leave this in Ohio. It is obviously a little more roomy. I used to drive a truck when I was younger, and I actually like my car. So it'd be nice to get this parked over there. I want to talk about all the 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, and 4-year-olds, and today I'm going to start with the 4-year-olds. We picked up some horses, and in fact, I was certain we would have at least one, if not two more horses join the stable today, and we had 0. I was outbid on 3 horses, so one horse I had a tough time letting go of in the bidding, but when it came down to it, it's pretty simple. If we put this horse in a claimer, what would its claiming price be? It's kind of what the horse is worth. In fact, a little bit less if we're going to stay in tune with value. So I had to stop bidding. The filly was a 3-year-old down by the seaside. She just went for what her claiming price would be for the most part. So let's get right to it. Atlas Hanover trained for his first time the other day back. Jason trained. How are we doing there? We're okay? You all right with the coughing? Jason trained Atlas Hanover, and he trained very good. He said he'll be another 2 weeks, I think, before we'll qualify him. Dustin Hanover is in to go on Wednesday. Week off didn't hurt this guy. Both him and Stonebridge Acadi were also eligible last week. They're both back in to go on Wednesday. I got a busy day on Wednesday, actually. Era of Love, our newest horse. It's the gray horse. Now, I watched this horse's videos, and I know when Jason trained her the other day, stripped her right down to the bare bones, so to speak. We took all the gear off her except for her hobbles and her bridle, trained her, and she trained great. So that's how she will race. I'll give John McDonald a call. I can't really talk to him about the horse because I myself have never sat behind the horse, but just convey how, in third person, how she trained on Friday. Where are we at here? Era of Love. So that's Era of Love. She's racing Monday. Gonna be short. I kind of regret putting her in or asking Jack to put her in for Monday. She hadn't raced in 14 days. I don't know what the hell was going through my mind. I thought that the mare had raced the week previous. Not the end of the world. She's trained up. They trained her in 2.9 on Friday. For a horse that's raced 3 or 4 times this year, it's not really the end of the world, but not ideal. So we'll see how she races on Monday. H.L. Ballou, Mark got a little angry at me last week, so he hasn't spoke to me in 3 or 4 days, so I can't really tell you how H.L. Ballou is. I know that he said he was 3 weeks away before, maybe when I come off the no talk, when I come off my talking suspension from Mark, he'll tell me how close he is with the horse. That's just brotherly stuff. Every so often James will get under my skin, or I'll get under Mark's skin, or James's skin, or we'll all get under each other's skin, and it used to be it would come to fists. But he's in New York, I'm in Ontario. James a little closer, so he's in the danger zone, but it's just the way it is. So H.L. Ballou, last reported 3 weeks away. How the hell is run twice in 59. Now, I plan on training him in about 2.4, 2.5 in the race bike next week. Still making a little noise. He always had that little laxity on one side. So Dr. Cote, who's doing the work for the University of Guelph at the barn, scoping the babies as we train them down, I asked her to put the dynamic scope on How the Hell and see how he goes. I'm interested myself to see. Yeah. So I guess, forgive me for those of you that have veterinarian training out there. You have the epiglottis, the palate, the 2 arytenoids, one on either side. One side, I believe it's 1 arytenoid, is a little lazier than the other. So the way it moves in the air, you can hear the horse making a noise because there's a disruption in the airflow. Now, as you can imagine, if there's a disruption in the airflow in the training or racing mile, that is a problem. Goldbug Hanover has come back because her palate was filled up even when they operated on her. So we're just waiting for that to cool down. I thought, since we have paddocks right here at First Line Training Center, we have a great equicizer and a pool. we can keep a real close eye on her. Plus, the University of Guelph is doing this study. So again, we can look at real time, even with the dynamic scope, but Goldbug won't need the dynamic scope. But how the hell this will be could be a very useful tool for this horse. It could be anything from nothing to injecting to being very careful. Red Overbach has the very same thing, and we're able to work around it with him. We know what we can and can't do with him to cause problems, and I guess to the extreme would be to operate and put a tie back on the horse. Not something I want to do. It would set us back another month, especially since he's very close to qualifying. So I don't really know what to tell you with how the hell, but we'll know next week. I don't think any of it is extremely serious. Good news is he's sound. When he was done galloping and he pulled up and I trotted him back to the barn, the horse was sound as a dollar and looked great. So that is a huge bonus because he is, speed-wise, he's on the doorstep of qualifying. So we'll train him in the race bike this week and see how it goes. Hunted House racing tonight. I expect he'll race good tonight. JK Mickey Mantle. Harry said he's going to train him in the race bike in 2.5 next week. We'll see how he trains. Looks like money not far behind him. If I was to guess, I would say that Harry took his sweet time getting Looks Like Money back to the track because he was worried I might send him down to Kentucky to race in the Kentucky Sire Stake races, which I wouldn't have done. But Harry's a wily old bugger, and if I was to guess, I would say.
Did he even know about them?
Oh, yes, he knew about them. Don't worry. There's only 4 in the division.
Oh.
It goes for 50. The final goes for 150. But there's 2 divisions. But it doesn't matter. We got, as I said to everybody that also noticed, all our partners on that horse, we got much bigger fish to fry than the Kentucky Sire Stakes. We've opted to roll the dice on Grand Circuit work with Looks Like Money, and that's much more important to the horse, to our clients, to everybody involved. Now, where are we at now? How the hell Hunted House? JK Victory. I jumped over JK Victory. He's racing tonight. JK Victory will race tonight, potentially, depending on how he does tonight. He'll race again next week, and then he'll go to Indiana. Ron Burke has said he can take him to Indiana. He's opening up an Indiana barn first part of May. Red Overbach raced good the other day, ran down a little bit. Megan likes him, and she said, can I have 1 week to not race him just for 1 week? I just want to work on his shoeing and the rundowns that he had. They're bothering him a little bit. So Red Overbach will race next week. Renegade Gypsy, we got to the bottom of it. He did tie up a little bit. His feet were a little bit sore. Flip-flops will go back on him. We'll work on his AST. It's not that high at all. It was high enough to cause him to be a little crampy in yesterday's qualifier, but nothing that can't be fixed within a week. Resolute Bay was good last night, just in tough. And I had talked about maybe he could fit a cheaper class if he wasn't in that series. He's got 21,000 made last 4. He's not fitting any cheaper class, so he's gonna have to go back in there for the next week. Stonebridge Acadi is in to go on Wednesday. Really, really happy with the way he raced his last start. Now coming into this week, very interested to see how he's going to do. Unbeatable Kemp. His AST was high and his GGT was high, so more than enough reason for Unbeatable Kemp to be a little flat the other day. We'll have both him and Tiger, Horn Player, and Spitfire Overseas. The 4 horses in that same shed row that look like they're a little under the weather, we'll have them all sorted within a week. World for Two is racing Monday, Tuesday, one of those days.
Monday, you said.
Monday. He's racing Monday in Southern Ohio. Yo Mister was fantastic last week. He's racing again this coming week in Southern Ohio. I had a conversation with Stacy, and she said, where do you want to race him? I said, well, the Meadows, Ohio, Kentucky, you pick. When Kings County comes back, they can't both win the Open. So at that point, we can either race one at the Meadows, one in Ohio, or wherever we want. There's places to race those horses, but I don't want them racing together. Locatelli will race next week. Locatelli will race next week. His GGT was a little high also, and they thought his feet were a little sore. They put the flip-flops back on him. No Free Lunch. I forgot to ask Harry how close No Free Lunch. He's got to be close. If I know Harry, he's got him pretty close, I'd say. He did not go to the schoolers the other day. I've not seen him in the race bike at the farm, but he can't be much further back than that. I'd say within the next week or two, we'll probably have an update of him being in the race bike. Where are we at now? Way down here. Stay Close. Ooh, very, very good qualifier. I talked about him in depth in a video yesterday and the opening today, an opening video. We'll probably might even think of racing him with no hobbles on his next start. We'll see how that plays out. If he's in a position where he can probably win his first start out, we may not gamble with the no hobbles, but at some point in the near future, I would say you're going to see a start without hobbles for Stay Close. He looks so good right now. I mean, really, really good. White Tiger, hopefully he'll bounce back. Him and Kings County, both. Kings County is getting close to racing. White Tiger, flat, really his last two, the break and then flatness. We'll see how he races this week. Patrick.
No, he's not in this week.
Oh, yeah, next week, sorry. Patrick DePirano was awesome, his first start out. It's not hard to win in 51 and 3 on a 5/8 when you qualify in 51 and 2 on a half, I noticed. So he was very, very good in his race. Per Lucky is racing Monday in Oak Grove. Eric Padlin's down to drive, but I don't think Eric's going to drive him. I think Kyle Husted is going to drive the horse. Either way, I just want to get him around, see how he feels. Eric knows the horse somewhat. He's in our barn. He knows all about Per Lucky, and it's tough to find. It's not that the drivers are bad down there, but without knowing this horse, it'll be tough. Now next week, Scott Zeron can drive him for sure. Odds on Delray, is he in today? Odds on Delray? Tomorrow, Sunday. I bet she's in tomorrow.
Not today. The only ones today are at Mohawk.
She has him in to go for 20. Why don't you look up and see when he's in to go? Took a dive off Dippers, got the rail in the Open tomorrow at Oak Grove. Tough spot. He actually fit the class below that, but it didn't fill. So they put him in the Open. And Sintra schooled in 55 and a piece 56 yesterday. He'll be qualifying next week. Those are your aged horses. Got the 2 and the 3-year-olds coming up in just a second.